What is up, Division 2 agents? This is Gamer4Life back with another Division 2 video. In this video, I wanted to go over some of the things I feel everyone should be doing to get ready for Project Resolve in Year 5 Season 3. With both phases of the PTS being over now, it's just a matter of time before we get the patch notes for TU20 and see what is going to be making it to the live game and what is possibly getting a nerf from the PTS. I do feel the majority of the changes will be making it, so depending on your playstyle, I would recommend pausing the video and taking a look at some of these changes from the previous PTS patch notes and go after the guns and gear that best suit your particular playstyle, since they will be getting some pretty decent buffs. Best way to go about this, in my opinion, would be to go into Countdown, because as we know, Countdown drops a ton of loot. And you can set the targeted loot to whatever you want to farm for. There is, however, some loot that cannot be acquired from Countdown that I would absolutely recommend going for, and the obvious ones would be the Ravenous and the Eagle Bear, since these are getting a nice buff as well. I know it can be a task trying to get these items, especially if you go the raid route. But keep in mind, there are some awesome communities out there that specifically go out of their way to help players get through the raid and hopefully get you one of those raid guns. For my solo players who just cannot bring themselves to play with a group, there is still one way you can get these guns, and that's running in the DZ. You do have a small chance to get them to drop in the DZ, and they can drop from any NPCs, not just bosses. I've seen players get the Eagle Bear drop from just a random red enemy walking down the street, not even in a landmark. Another gun I would absolutely recommend getting is the Shield Splinter. The only way to get this gun is to take out all of the Year 1 hunters, and I do have a step-by-step guide of how to take out every single one of those hunters, and I'll leave that link in the description to that video. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there is another way that you can possibly get this gun without taking out any hunters. If you have a buddy who has already taken out the hunters, when they run a fresh character through Warlords of New York, once they complete it, they automatically get all 8 ivory keys and can open the box that the Shield Splinter is in once again. And if you are in their group when they open it, they can share the gun with you. Now, I know for a fact that it used to be this way because I have given some of my friends this gun in the exact same way, but I'm not sure if you can still do it. But if anyone is on Xbox and wants either this gun or the Hunter Killer chest, since we do know the Hunter Killer is also locked behind taking out hunters, but taking out the Year 2 hunters, I would be more than happy to test this out with you guys and possibly drop it for you, because I'm almost always running my 3rd and 4th character through Warlords of New York, and I can open these boxes multiple times. So yeah, hit me up on Xbox if you're interested in that. Speaking of Warlords, I did make a video a few weeks back about the benefits of multiple characters. I unfortunately had to take that video down because for whatever reason it was having some audio issues, but I did happen to fix those issues, and I'll leave you guys with that video now because the benefits it goes into is perfect for getting ready for this new update. Let's get into those benefits. Now, there is one thing that always comes up, and one of the biggest things that having multiple characters will help with, and that is agents always asking the devs for more stash space. I can't tell you how many times I've heard agents complaining about this, and when I ask them about their 2nd, 3rd, or 4th character, they always come back to me with, "Oh, I don't have multiple characters," or "I just have a 2nd character." 3 more characters unlocked on top of your main character gives you 450 more inventory slots. That, trust me, comes in extremely helpful, especially if you're like me, who is always keeping random pieces for possible build ideas down the road. So probably the most popular reason for having multiple characters is for having more inventory space to stash more gear. But this is certainly not the only reason. Now, a couple of videos ago, I went over the best ways to get exotics and exotic components. There is a couple of things in that video that you can times by 4, and one of those is doing your weekly projects and getting those easy exotic caches. So you can do the 30 floors on Summit, your weekly legendary mission, and simply donating materials to get 3 easy exotic caches on each character. On top of that, you can do the incursion on all 4 of your characters, because each character can open the box at the end of the incursion, which we know gives out a guaranteed exotic, and that will give you another 4 exotics every week. So doing all of this on all 4 characters, that is 16 exotics every single week. Another great reason to have multiple characters, and unfortunately this is more beneficial for higher shade level agents, but that is getting fresh watches, which gives you a lot of watch points depending on your shade level, and those watch points can be turned into important materials you need to do things like recalibration, optimizing, and of course your expertise. Honestly, that is how I max my expertise out every time we get a new season with new guns and gear, is because I get those items to proficient immediately by donating printer filament. One thing you can also do, which requires multiple characters, is you can stack these materials on top of each other, going over the cap to really get stocked up on those materials. I like doing this after the new season has come out and I've pretty much used all the materials I need for getting all of my items to proficient, and also making all of these new builds with the new items we get from every season. After I do that, I then stack everything back up, as you can see how my watch looks now, and that has me ready for the new season. Now, how can you stack your materials over the cap? After you create a new character and take them through the Warlords of New York campaign, you now have a fresh watch with however many watch points your shade level allows. What you then do is max the materials out on your watch, whether it's through farming for them in the open world or however you want to farm for them, or just simply use your watch points to max them out. You do this before buying the account shared materials blueprint. If your main character's watch is maxed out, then when you do buy this blueprint with your new character's maxed out watch, they now stack on top of each other. I do this multiple times, which is why you see so many materials on my watch, and you can honestly do this as many times as you want and stack as many materials as you desire. I think the most I've gotten at one time is just over 50k on all of my materials, but you know, you can get more, you can get less, just however you want to do it. So these are just a few ways that you can benefit from having multiple characters in the game unlocked. And if anyone wants to share any other benefits, feel free to do so in the comments. I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, do our brother a favor, hit that like button. If you haven't already, maybe think about hitting that subscribe button as well, as this channel is all about helping the community out to be better at the game, and you won't regret joining this awesome toxic-free community. That's gonna do it for this video, my friends. I hope everyone is doing good and staying safe out there in this crazy world, and as always, my YouTube family, take it easy.